Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you again for waking up with TBM Sports, completing your morning routine, and that is something where we completed another successful day in college basketball last night, getting it done in the play-in games where we did have that play that was never a doubt with the under going on within the Alabama State game, as well as we had the very strong lean with North Carolina. So all you guys that tailed that parlay with North Carolina money line and taking the Alabama State game going under, shout out to those who tuned in for the live stream where we did give out that bonus play a little bit. That was what I was on. It was a very successful day. I don't always want to parlay, and that's something where I didn't want to use North Carolina minus 4.5, which I know that you guys are laughing in hindsight, but that's just how I felt about it. But I did like the under more so that was my conviction play. But I knew that North Carolina was going to win, as they did with ease. I just worried about them covering a 4.5 or 5 a little bit later in that game if it ever got to that point. So that's just kind of what I did. Cashed over a plus 150. We'll take it moving forward. Also, kind of dipped my toes in the water when it comes to the baseball season, as had a little play on the Dodgers and Cubs going over 8. So completing that into Tokyo. We'll take that one as well. And let's get this momentum going into tonight's contest. All right. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe right down below. All right. And please let me know what you guys will be betting in the comments. Also, a couple of things of business. TikTok, Discord, and the website is currently under construction. If you guys want more information about that stuff, hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, links down below to join us on those platforms. And let's get into the picks for this evening, okay? To do so, we are going to use OUTLIER. We are going to talk about that first game, American and Mount St. Mary's. A couple NIT games as well that I do like and favor, but we'll kind of briefly run through those as I get into these picks. But for American and Mount St. Mary's, this is where we're going to look into the very good season that the Eagles had in the Patriot League. And Mount St. Mary's, you could say the same exact thing. I think the last 3 games, we took them on the channel as either getting points or plus money lines that I did favor, okay? Now they're here. That's great. That's all fine and dandy, but I think American does prevail. I wish I would have got this one early. Opening number on the money line was minus 125. Now we find minus 2.5s in the market. Free throws, as we all know, very, very important within these college basketball games down the stretch. But I'm going with American. So give me American minus 2 as an official play. Minus 140 is right up at that upper echelon of a number that I'm comfortable laying. If I were going to bet that, I would play to win a unit. So that would be minus 140 to win 1 unit. But I am going with the Eagles tonight in the spot. I think they're the better team. And as much as I do like Mount St. Mary's overall, we're going to follow the money on this one and go where the handle's at as we look for American to punch their ticket into the second round, okay? And there's really no handicap available for that other than the fact that if we look into kind of some of the numbers and metrics, I just think on both sides of the ball, American is the better team when it comes down to it. But it's March. Anything can happen, but I'm going to trust my numbers here on this one and take American minus 2, or if you want to lay anywhere into the minus 130s with a money line, minus 140 is that top number. I really don't like to go close to minus 150, but $1.40 is up the upper echelon in money lines of my level of comfort. Okay, next, I do want to talk about kind of some NIT action, and that'll be kind of where we look at Dayton and FAU. Couple that with the fact that we do have UAB, George Mason. The one thing I wanted to point out to you guys was these are a lot of losers or teams that were very close to getting their tickets punched, and that's kind of why it's so very important to essentially win your tournament and these games. This is why it matters, okay? So I know a lot of people say the NIT is kind of garbage, but I believe it was a couple years ago, the NIT actually had a little bit better product than the early rounds of college basketball action. For me, guys, though, I got to be honest with you, I think that we do get some strong games within this contest, and that's where we're going to look into UAB, George Mason, you could talk Bradley, FAU, Furman, UC Irvine, one of the best cover teams of the year. You talk San Jose State, same thing goes for them. San Francisco. There's a lot of great basketball teams, so do not sleep on the NIT as much as you guys will be tuned into the games tonight, okay? But that's kind of where I'm at. I want to see how these teams kind of play in the first round of the NIT historically. Let's see how that goes down, because I think that you really want to know what teams are there to play and just what teams are there because they have to. That is a thing. A lot of these smaller schools I would favor over. You look at games, but a lot of these point spreads are indicating that. Okay, just at face value, I'll tell you guys that UAB getting 5.5. Makes me wonder how much morale they're going to have, almost taking Memphis down the stretch. FAU laying 1.5. That would be something I would look to fade Dayton, but Dayton's played well lately. And you could talk about some of the games, such as the over North Texas Furman. That would be an early lean. Bradley minus 4.5. I would go with that. Just rattling a couple off my head. I don't know how much steam SMU is going to be playing with after not making the tournament, not qualifying as 10.5-point favorites. And then obviously UC Irvine, I do favor that a little bit more so. Very good cover team. Minus 7.5 is a -7. UC Irvine is something that I would look to get involved with, but they've kind of faltered late. But that's just kind of some early leans that I would have. Okay, George Mason, love them as well. So outside of that, guys, let's get into the second game that we do have action on, and that will be the game between the Texas Longhorns and the Xavier Musketeers, okay? This is one where we have to look into some of the betting trends for the historical bracket purpose, okay? And what I mean by that is it's something very simple. Teams that have had 14 losses, such as Texas, 18-14 on the season, 6-12, it's kind of crazy. This is something where teams that have gotten into the play-in with 14 losses or more, they have literally won a majority of their first-round games. So that's kind of where I look into Texas going 2 games deep. I think Texas gets this one done. I think they get a little help from an upset, and they advance to the next round after that. So I am on the Longhorns. As much as I did like Xavier down the stretch, I think they did kind of falter a little bit. They have some injuries. You could talk about kind of this Texas team playing hot as of lately. They lost to Tennessee by 11, but that's a different story. They still were able to put up 72 on Tennessee, which is something worthy. Taking Texas A&M, beating them by 5 on the road at Vanderbilt. These are some quality wins down the stretch. These are essentially bracket teams: Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Tennessee. So the level of competition, I think, is there. However, Xavier, they could play some basketball too. So I just think this is something where we look at the metrics. Texas is kind of that squad that is that 14 seed. I think they win and get in, but why not grab the 3 in the hook, or 3 in the horns, I should say, with the Longhorns. Take that plus 3.5, -1.8, I think it's -120 now. Let's take a look into the alternate number. Best line available for Texas on this alternate line is where you can find -118 plus 3.5. That's going to be my best bet. We're going to take 3 in the horns for the Longhorns in this spot. And then also American, recommend the money line, or I'm going to lay 2 points with American. So those are my best bets. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Do me a favor, though, X, Twitter, and Discord. Check those all out. We are back up and running. Website will be soon. I promise you guys, the goal is before the official baseball season, so just weeks away. Appreciate you guys giving me a couple minutes of your time. Let's go cash some tickets and enjoy it. Enjoy it. It'll be over before you know it. All right. Cheers.